the music I usually have, but for some reason my soundboard has been messed up. But I'll take it. I mean,
That
what
was
is?
I
nice.
was gonna say someday we will choose an intro song that will stick.
Yeah, this
Someday,
is
but not today.
3 episodes, 3 different songs, but we are X gets to square. Still have no idea what the hell the song that actually means, but it does. It gets to square.
It's
And tonight, Bailey and I are blessed to have Robert Bruno on the show. Robert Bruno's been on many different aspects of shows that I do, but he's here tonight to chat pop culture, something that he knows very well, as it is involves a lot of his background in the art world that he's involved in, working in many of the pro sports, Disney, Marvel, DC, and many other categories of art that is on his website for purchase. And tonight we're going to be digging deep into pop culture. But before we start digging into that, let's see how everyone is doing. We'll start with you, Robert. What's going on with you, buddy?
Busy as always. I feel like that's always my standard answer with you. Have a few projects going now, but enjoying some nice hot weather in New York. And yeah, just living.
Yeah, the weather has been interesting for sure. Now, Bailey, this is we've been doing shows for a while together. This is the clearest that I have ever seen you. Your internet connection is not, as we would say in the production game, horse shit. So it looks good. We can
uh,
see you crystal clear, and it sounds good on your end.
that's right, and I also do not sound like Bane today. So we are going 2 for 2 on good check boxes as we go down the list. And it's actually I'm enjoying the fact that we haven't had the same intro music on every single episode because it feels like this is X Gets to Square the anthology, and I think we
Ooh.
can continue that kind of like path of Black Mirror esque thing. And maybe next week, someone else will show up in my spot on my screen, and then it'll be an entire stranger, and we'll all just pretend that it's me, and we'll just we'll play with it. We'll have fun. We have fun here.
Well, talking about Black Mirror, talking about TV shows, listen.
Uh,
So Robert knows this very well of me. I'm a DC guy at heart. Love DC movies. I'm a huge DC guy. I have nothing against Marvel. I enjoy it. I'm just not as hardcore into it. I loved WandaVision. Me and my daughter watched that religiously. But I will say that I wasn't a big fan of the Captain America one, the Winter Soldier thing. That didn't do anything for me. It kind of tapped out. Didn't really keep my attention. Now, Loki, I knew we were watching this. I mean, I knew we were on the show. We're going to talk about this. So I binge watched all 3 episodes 2 days ago, yesterday, and then rewatched episode 3 again today. And I'm going to put it very bluntly. I have no idea what the fuck I watched. It makes no sense to me. Can you guys explain to me what the hell I'm watching?
Well, I think what Marvel is trying to set up with the TV shows is obviously bridge a lot of sub storylines in between the movies, picking up with Endgame and then kind of going back and forth in time. And a lot of it is kind of centered on different time periods, especially with Loki. Um, it's kind of just setting up a much bigger universe and even multiverse, if you will, which is going to set up the Eternals and future projects down the line. And I don't know. I think yeah, it's like I'm following it. I know it's getting a little technical with like new terminology with TVA and time travel and all that, but I don't know. I'm enjoying the ride. I really like that they're branching out too, and they're not sticking to any one formula, which I think they've always been pretty good with and successful with.
Bailey,
um,
thoughts?
I sorry, is me. Um, this is just to canonize Owen Wilson. That is the entire point of this TV show. It is so when Captain America does a cool flip, there is someone canonically that can go, wow, and will actually not question it. This is a $15 million an episode Owen Wilson canonization machine. That is my
That makes more sense actually.
Yeah, sorry to undermine your take on it, Robert, with a little bit more of a factual
I
take, and I can tell that Anthony is like mind blown right now with how wide his eyes are. But
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
I definitely recount my synopsis. Oh, recant.
yeah, it
Sorry.
is. Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, Owen has the power to do that. But no, I think it's really cool because Marvel for a little bit there got really wrongly technical with time travel, with Endgame and with all of that, and just how all the plot holes that they left open with Captain America going back to replace all the Infinity Stones and replace the timelines and just randomly showing up. And granted, the show hasn't really touched on that yet, but the show is making a lot more sense now in terms of the way that they handle timelines and making sure that like they're handling actually what they're talking about with a little bit of sense. And we also have an animated little clock and Owen Wilson, so I think that alone makes more sense than
that thing's a
old
clock?
Captain America just showing up. There's an animated clock, yeah.
I thought it was a waffle.
No, that's missed time. That's a clock.
Oh.
That's the TVA's. So there's some.
I mean, that probably clears everything up.
The whole show makes complete sense.
There's that meme of Sarah Paulson with all the geometry and stuff floating around her, and that's Anthony right now realizing that is Miss Time and not Miss Waffle, the sentient holographic mascot of the TVA. But there's also a theory that I was reading about this morning, actually, while I was drinking coffee, that Miss Time is actually the Grand Poobah of the TVA and is controlling the Time Lords, which are the 3 lizard humanoids that are like the sacred beings that control all time and reality. And that's why there's a button on every single TVA thing to summon Miss Time.
See, we were taught first that the most important things in the Marvel Universe was like, you know, Thanos and all these gods and whatever.
Well, the Infinity Stones.
Infinity Swords. Now Infinity Stones. Now it's these lizard people, and then we're gonna find out that the lizard people,
the Time Lords. Time Lords.
Yeah.
They're the Time Lords.
Yeah. Okay, Monster Magnet, calm down over there. You know, and then you have, these Time Lords, as you call them. We'll find out these lizard people ain't nothing, and then there'll be some, I don't know, it's ant people that are associated with Ant-Man, and listen.
You literally talk about food with arms every episode, and you're yelling at me for calling these lizard people Time Lords? Don't you pull it up. No. We saw it last month.
So, don't knock the Foo Fighters. The Food Fighters really are... Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The Food Fighters. I'm telling you, at Christmas time, all of my closest friends that are on the show are going to get one of these in the mail, and they're going to
I can't wait.
We'll love them for the rest of their lives. Bringing them back.
It'd be a shame if that package had an accident.
Oh, we're going there now. I see how it is. But no, I will say, I enjoy the show. I am confused. So let me ask this. The girl that Loki found, that's
Sylvie.
Another version of Loki from a different universe? Is that correct?
No.
I'm not sure yet. I think they're almost intentionally misleading you to set something else up.
Because that's what I was confused at.
Sylvie, the character that they're trying to set up, is actually a character from Ohio, which was a secondary location that the Asgardians went to after Ragnarok. Loki created Sylvie and her powers as a joke in an alternate timeline, but the way that Sylvie is dressed in this show and her powers are that of which that Lady Loki possesses in a different comic arc. And so the running theory is this is Marvel trying to canonize Lady Loki under the guise of Sylvie from another universe.
Yeah, that's even beyond my knowledge.
And yet Anthony every month seems to find an excuse to say, Bailey, you're too young to know what this means. Every month. But yet here...
Yeah, this has nothing to do with age. This is just, I don't got time to figure this shit out. I have no idea what the hell's going on. This is, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Ray is mind blown right now based off of that post up. It's like, what the hell?
That makes 2 of us.
Oh my God.
But,
yeah,
no, I mean, what...
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
Robert. This is all up here in the little memory bank, so you
do
what you need to do, and then I'll come back.
All I was going to say, like, kind of looking at what they did with the first 10 years, building up to Thanos, I appreciate what they're doing now, setting up and putting these lizard gods on a pedestal, because it's like it's so much different than what Thanos was. He was a physical, tangible threat. Whereas these people, it seems like they're just almost blindly worshiping these beings, which I think, I don't know, it's a testament to everything, even with the Infinity Stones, and how now so quickly they almost totally diluted their power and their worth, especially with Loki, because, I mean, I feel like his arc has been all about obtaining the Tesseract, and once he has it, you know, he'll have this unlimited power, and I thought it was really powerful. I mean, spoiler alert, in that second episode, when he finds out that they're nothing more than paperweights, it kind of made him question, what he was working towards and what does power really mean. And I thought that was really great.
Well, it's interesting because, like, so Shannon just said, is everyone up on the DC Marvel world? And because that's what we are watching, which is very true. It seems like for the most average people in the world right now, I mean, that's what they're watching because that's the best TV. But I will ask this of you guys: out of all the comic book TV shows that have come up to this point, if you went to look back and say this is my favorite one, which one is your go-to favorite comic version television show that has been put out to date? I'll start with you, Bailey.
The Flash. The Flash.
Which
the CW Arrowverse Flash.
Okay.
With Grant Gustin, absolutely 100%. I was not a fan of Arrow and was not a fan of like Supergirl or
Legends of Tomorrow,
Batgirl or Batwoman or whichever. But yeah, the Flash was fantastic. The tone of it gets heavily scrutinized because a lot of people think that it, like, tonality of it is very like kind of whimsical, like it's getting more sitcom-y now. But I am still like up on watching it with all the seasons that it's been on, and it's still continuing to just do its thing. So I enjoy it.
Okay. What about you, Bailey? I mean, Robert. I can't.
So I haven't seen too many of the DC shows. I'm really not even up to date with the Shield show. So I kind of have to base it to the recent ones on Disney Plus, where I mean I really love both WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier. For me, I probably personally enjoyed Falcon and the Winter Soldier more just because it had a very similar tone and demeanor to the Captain America Winter Soldier movie, which is my personal favorite. And I don't know, I like the more grounded issues that surrounded Captain America and the Falcon. So for me, that was my favorite. I thought it had a lot of good psychological, mental issues with what they set up with the new Captain America. And I thought, as always, it was really well acted and developed.
So if
Can I actually rescind my answer?
Okay.
You seem so surprised, so shocked.
Well, he's probably going to go with, there was once this cartoon on USA called Barbed Wire from the movie that he loved so much with Pam Anderson. That is his favorite TV show. I can see it already.
Anthony, we still have 47 minutes left. Can we not blow that out of the water and let me have something to pull up later on the show? No, I definitely think Robert Kirkman's Invincible. 100%. Like 1 billion%. I loved that show through and through, and I'm so excited for the seasons to come.
I am going to go with Titans. I think Titans is my favorite show because it showed a darker, grimmier. I'll never forget watching the first episode, and it was just a darker, grimmier version of the DC world that a lot of people wanted. And it brought in a lot of characters that are just never going to get movie time because they're just not as popular. And I really enjoyed. So that's my favorite comic series, and I'm really looking forward to season 3 coming out in a few months. But
wait, are you talking about Teen Titans?
No, Titans. Titans on.
Is that the live action adaptation of it?
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. There's 2 seasons of it. It's really dark, really violent, really gritty. It's good stuff.
I would add the first season of The Boys for honorable mention.
I had a hard time getting through the second episode. Like, it just didn't do anything for me.
Oh, I thought it was.
Man, you gotta try it again. It's very good.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because like Schitt's Creek, I watched the first 2 episodes years ago, and I was like, I can't get into this. And then like,
Schitt's Creek is tough with that first episode because they're so hard to watch because they're so awful.
Correct.
But then it's all about how they become less awful.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like I think that's what I have to do with The Boys. Like I'm gonna have to like kind of just get through it a little bit and. But, talking about TV shows, and, and we'll get back to Loki here in a minute, but so it's interesting about how I think television in general is a dying entity of, like, how broadcast television shows mean nothing. There is a show called, Jesus Christmas Tree. I fucking had a good point, too, and I lost it. It's called, Manifest. Manifest on TV is doing horrible numbers. Right? Netflix finally picks it up. It's the number one watched show.
New life.
In crazy amount of times. The show was canceled 3 weeks ago. Now it's the number one most watched show across any streaming platform, and it's still consistently doing bigger numbers than it ever did on a single episode on a nightly thing.
And it's a great show, too. It's a great show.
Well, here's the thing. I'm watching it now. I'm on like the 6th episode. I still don't understand what the hell's going on. Like, but it's worrying me because the last time I was this kind of invested in a damn television show was Lost, And that is the biggest letdown of a season finale, a series finale of a show I've ever been in my whole life. I threw my drink at the damn TV. I was so pissed. That was anger, Anthony, back in the day. It was a long time ago. Bailey, I don't know if you were born back then when Lost was around, but that was a long time ago.
Knew there was. See, I knew it. I was just counting the minutes until it came up. Just counting the minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and rebuttal with the same thing that I do every single time. Anthony, I have the fucking internet. I have the internet, and I can look up any of these things that you say, and I can guarantee that I have. I actually got a weird look on a date a couple weeks ago because I made I made a tangential connection between Gremlins and
what she was wearing?
Season 2. Huh?
And what she was wearing? You're like, oh, look, you look just like Gizmo.
No, absolutely not. I made the connection between that and the Season 2 episode of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius Attack of the Twonkies because they're literally the exact same plot. That's what we call multi-generational pop culture knowledge.
No, that's what we call...
And I would go as far to say...
That is what we call after the date she never called you again.
It was my decision not to.
Probably.
It was my decision not to call her, okay?
Probably no second date there.
No, Robert, that was an...
No.
That was over...
No offense, Bailey.
There wasn't because she dropped to one knee immediately after that and I wasn't ready for marriage. So there was no second date, but it was on my terms.
Wow.
So, yeah. Yeah. So continue, Anthony. What were you talking about? You were saying Lost?
Yeah, no, like Lost was what that like Lost broke my heart back in the day, and I tried rewatching that recently, and I can't. That show's terrible. That show does not hold up. You know, it was another.
You want to
show?
know it's a great show that I've been watching that is like a super different vein. Is what is it? Something Kevin. It's on Amazon, and the entire premise of it is this woman that lives in a standard sitcom. She's a stereotypical sitcom wife, and every time that the husband is not in the room, it's like a really dark, gritty murder drama. And every time that it swaps to the room that the husband is in, it changes over to having that like slap bass backing track, bright, warm colors, like laugh tracks, all of that. And the second the husband leaves again, it's really like ominous music. The camera angles change. It's like dark blue. God, what? Was it on Hulu? I don't know.
Well,
it's called.
What's it called?
I'm looking.
This is the most amazing episode ever. You have us on the edge of our chair, Bailey. Keep going. Keep us going.
Well, it's because usually I'm prepared, but this week I have my little iPad to the right of me, like Anthony has his little iPad, so I figured I could look things up as I go along. Where is it? What the heck?
All right, well, listen. While you're looking for that, we're going to talk about this. Do you guys, when you go back and watch this, because as we grew up, right, we idolize shows and we love them, and then as we go back to watch them, we find that they don't hold up as well. And one of the shows that like I recently tried watching all the way through, and I did watch all the way through, but it just didn't have the same effect as it did the first time, was The Sopranos. Like, I loved The Sopranos growing up. I thought that was a great show, but as I watched it again, it just didn't have the feeling I had when I first watched it. Have you ever had that, Robert, where like you went back, you watched something, you're like, damn, like, man, I really love this. Now this is not as good as I remember it.
So I'm trying to think. I mean, if I'm not listening to music while I work, I do like having either. I mean, shows is easier because I get like so many hours that I could just keep hitting play. But I have a set of shows that I probably watch like throughout annually. And I don't know, for me, I still look forward to it. It's not a large list. I mean, I probably watch The Wire start to finish every year. I probably watch Spartacus start to finish every year, which I think is a super underrated show. Breaking Bad. And then, honestly, my guilty pleasure is Entourage. And I don't know. I mean, there's highs and lows with all of them, but not to the point that I would ever not want to watch them again. So, I'm not in the same camp.
I guess we're not in the same camp. We're on two different sides of the lake. Bailey, go ahead. I see you raising your hand.
Kevin Can Fuck Himself. That's what the name of the show is, and it's actually running right now.
It's called.
You should have waited. You should have waited like another 45 minutes and then just.
Yeah, as we're closing out, Lynn actually put it up there that Kevin can wait.
Kevin can wait. Thanks, Lynn.
It's called Kevin Can Fuck Himself. It's airing every Sunday on AMC, but the synopsis little thing that blurbs is series centered about the prototypical sitcom wife, Allison McRoberts, married to her self-centered husband, Kevin. When Allison learns that her perfect future she envisioned is impossible, she plans to take back control of her life, which is a murder.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that one. I don't know about you, Robert. I'm going to pass.
I have to just be careful. Me and my girlfriend, we have a list of shows that we watch, but once I start a show.
I love you know what I love about you, Robert? Like, you're just too nice to just tell Bailey to go fuck himself. So what you did was you're like, unfortunately, we're very cautious about how you just have a nice
we all
way
can't
of.
Be
Listen, man,
your motorcycle.
I have social media channels. I have to learn how to be careful right now.
I totally
have
get
social
it.
media channels too, but see, my management, they pretty much told me to coin being myself, which can be better or for worse. And so
I respect the hell out of that.
Oh man,
it's not fun.
Here's one thing that we started talking about on the last episode that I really want to talk about on this episode, and this is the one I emailed you about. One crazy thing, and we had talked heavily, me, Bailey, and Art on the last episode, was this idea of what the Mandela effect is. And I went down a rabbit hole of what the Mandela effect is. And to coin it, the Mandela effect actually came out because it was thought that a lot of people believe that Nelson Mandela had died in jail in the 80s. And it was believed so much that when they did a study that 80% of people they spoke to believed that he had died. They had said that they remember seeing his funeral on TV. They remember all these things, only to find out he only died until like 2012 or 2008 or something like that. It wasn't, but not that long ago. So this idea of the Mandela effect is something that so many people believe it that they think it's real, but it's actually not. And
it is my favorite Ashton Kutcher movie.
You mean the butterfly effect?
Butterfly effect.
No. If you kill a Mandela in the past, then it creates a ripple and destroys the future.
I can't.
It's really gritty and gray.
All right, well, listen, we're gonna test your knowledge, Jesus, of the Mandela effect. Okay, so I'm gonna ask a question, okay, and you're gonna tell me what you remember. And I want your honest. 2012 is when he passed away. Thank you, Shannon. What you remember this in this famous movie by Steven Spielberg? An alien points his finger in the air and says a phrase which is extremely popular. Bailey, what is that phrase?
Are we talking about the movie Alien with Ripley?
No, Steven Spielberg did not make Aliens, you schmuck.
It is. Do I need to do the voice too?
No, you don't. If you want to.
E.T. Phone home.
Okay, but Robert, how do you remember him? What did he say?
That's what I would have guessed too.
That is incorrect.
Robert, you got to do the voice.
No. No.
That's fair.
It is actually when E.T. points his finger up in the air, he says, E.T. home phone.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Yes.
He does not say E.T. landline.
He does. 100%. I have checked all of these for accuracy. All right, next one. You ready for this one? Well, I don't know, but this one's kind of a silly one. But do you remember that famous painting of dogs, right? Like they're playing poker and stuff, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay. What do you remember, like, what any of them are wearing? Like, what do you remember them wearing? Is there something, like, that's pretty obvious that they're wearing something?
Didn't one have, like, a bow tie? A bow tie on?
Okay. Possibly. All right. Anything else you remember about that painting?
A visor. One of them had a visor.
Yeah, like the poker visors.
You remember that, right?
Sounds familiar.
In 2014, 100,000 people were asked to describe what was in the picture. All of them said that a dog was wearing a visor. In that painting, a dog is not wearing a visor. Never has, never did. Crazy, right?
I think there's a second painting that they looked at.
Here's another one.
These dogs playing Go Fish.
100,000 people were asked to draw a silhouette of Curious George. All 100,000 people drew this on him, but he does not have it. What is it?
A tie.
What do you think, Robert?
Oh, we lost him.
No, he's thinking hard. Oh, he's thinking real hard.
So they drew something like an object with the silhouette of him.
Something that they put something on him that everyone thinks he had. Every single person thought he had it, but he does not.
Did they give him a hat?
Just a hat. That's what I would
No.
have said.
A tail. Curious George never had a tail.
Yeah, definitely didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. No.
I would like for you both to spell for me. There is a cereal, a very famous cereal that you can go to the stores right now and purchase.
I'm into cereal.
There's a toucan on the front. Tell me what it's called and spell it for me.
I think I could get this. This is fruit.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hold on a second, because I think you know it.
Sorry.
Bailey, go ahead. Tell me what it's called.
No. Robert goes first. Robert had it locked and loaded. Robert, you go first. Go ahead.
So it's Fruit Loops, but fruit is spelled F-R-O-O-T.
You are correct.
Let's
Yeah,
get it.
Actually, loops is spelled L-U-I-P-S. See, this is why I like to go first. So now you have the egg on your face.
Oh,
Okay,
Jesus.
Anthony, what's the next round?
In The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, when they get out of the house, she looks at Toto and says this famous line that has been said millions of times. I actually said it when I went to Kansas, and I said it wrong. What does Dorothy say when she gets out of her house and looks at Toto? Does anybody know this?
I mean, I'm gonna say what I think is right, but I'm almost
go.
positive you're gonna tell me I'm wrong.
That's what the whole purpose of this thing is, because it is the craziest thing in the world, because 100,000 people were given all these answers, and most of the time, either 90% or higher had guessed the wrong answer, which is mind-blowing to me. So what do you remember her saying, Robert?
Is it...
Go ahead, Bailey.
Oh, shoot. Now I gave myself that upper hand on accident. Is it, this isn't Kansas anymore?
Nope.
So I would have said.
See, now I know what you're going to say, and I tried to divert myself purposefully.
Well, I like this. I like how people are getting involved.
6%.
Trey Bush, also my co-host.
Yeah,
my favorite co-host, by the way, in the world. Who we do Let's Talk Vinyl. We're not in Kansas anymore, which is incorrect.
Is it? I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
No, that's what Shannon said. That is incorrect. The correct answer is Toto. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Okay.
Fucking crazy.
So we're not in Kansas anymore. It's just a paraphrase.
Correct.
So technically, this is just a dollar
no
effect.
technicalities.
This is just a dollar effect. It's not a full Mandela effect.
It is. Oh, here is one. We'll go to the Wizard of Oz one more time, because the next one, if Robert doesn't get this, I'm taking a card away from him. But we'll do the Wizard of Oz first. The Wizard of Oz. The Wicked Witch gleefully yelled to her monkeys once. What? She yelled fly, and then she had a couple of words after that. What did she say?
My pretties.
Oh, that's what everyone thinks she says.
My pretty patties.
Nope.
My pretty little red bottom babies.
No, she said fly, fly, fly. And I had to look back at that because I've watched Wizard of Oz like 1,000 times. I swear to God, I thought she said that. Now.
All right, now here's one for you, Anthony and Robert.
Okay.
Don't stop. I feel pressure. What color were C-3PO's
God
legs?
damn it. That's what I was about to... That's my next question.
Ha ha! Ha!
I already know this because I have it in front of me.
Yeah, so
Robert Bruno, if you were to paint
you have a 50%
C-3PO
chance
tomorrow,
of saying yes.
and you had to paint him, what colors is C-3PO?
We're talking C-3PO like in the main trilogy, right?
The original three.
The only one who knows.
So I'm assuming it's not gold.
There is gold. Yeah, he is gold. But there is another color on him that he has in all three movies. And if you do not get this right, I am calling Disney and saying do not work with him. He lost his card.
Green?
No, that would be incorrect. He has a silver leg.
Yeah.
Here's another one. What was the name of the main bad gremlin in Gremlins?
It was, it's not Spike. It's something else with an S. I don't know. Sport.
That is
That one
correct.
I
It
don't.
is
That one I don't know.
It is Steven. Now, what was the famous line that Darth Vader said to Luke Skywalker,
It's just I am your
talking
father.
about no.
Yes.
No.
He doesn't say Luke, I am your father. He says, I am your father.
No,
it's
he
it's
says
it's
no.
no. I am your father.
And then Luke goes, no,
Yeah.
you silly man. No, you're not.
All right, in Snow White, the evil witch looks at the mirror and says what?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the prettiest or fairest of them all?
Fairest.
You are
Mirror,
incorrect.
mirror on the wall.
Okay.
Show me the fairest of them all.
100,000 people were asked the question. They all gave a wrong answer. All she said was magic mirror on the wall. That's it.
Oh.
I think we're looking at a little bit of a director's cut here if we're not saying
Yeah.
fairest
Because
of them
Disney
all.
had director's
Because there's
cut.
no way it doesn't say fairest of them all.
Because
At
I
all,
will tell you,
ever.
the interesting thing about this is the only thing Disney did for director's cut back in the day was they just drew dicks on the covers of their hidden in the
right.
background of their cover art. In
So
silence,
here's another question.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you see? I'm a co-host. So this is me co-hosting. So do you remember who played the genie Shazam?
Yeah. First of all, there was no Shazam. It was Kazam. Kazam was played by Shaquille
You
O'Neal.
passed the first part of this. This is a multiple choice, multiple level
Yeah,
answer.
because it was the confusion behind it was, and we talked about this on the last episode. If you weren't so damn,
I know, Anthony. Did I do this on your questions? Did I do this on your questions?
Robert, go ahead.
Well, I mean, me and all my friends watched Kazam. I mean, I know that's Shaq. You can't not
No,
watch.
Sinbad actually did not play Shazam, Robert. Funny you say that.
Oh.
So.
Damn.
All right, fine, Anthony. Go with your next. It's your balls in your court. Go ahead.
All right. In Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter says these famous words to Clarice. What does he say the first time they meet?
I know the
100,000 people. Do you know it?
In a minute.
I know the answer, and I'm a child.
You know it
Go
because
ahead,
you're probably
Robert,
looking at one of
you
the
go
same
first.
list that I'm looking at.
No.
Liar.
Is it? I'm ballparking here. Obviously, I've seen it, but I can't think of the first thing. Is it like step a little closer into the light?
She says that to him at one point. But what
okay.
he was, a lot of people says they do that. Hello, Clarice, like that.
Right.
He never once says it in the movie.
Well, that's just in the letter he writes her, right?
I don't know. I don't
No,
think so.
but instead he makes a weird slurpy noise.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
that kind of a thing. That kind of a jam. All right.
Bailey, do you want to go ahead and say something now?
I mean, we're looking at the same list, so it's either you can go next or I can go next. I mean, the same things are going to be said. So.
Okay. My favorite one that blew my mind, and I had to go back and rewatch this because I didn't believe it. In Field of Dreams, what is the famous line from Field of Dreams?
It's not. If you build it, they will come.
That is what 100,000 people believed that it was said. The
Damn it.
actual thing that is said is, if you build it, he will come. He being his dad.
His dad, right? Damn it.
Yeah.
Actually, this is like a double thing here.
Ooh.
The actual line was, if you build it, they will come and you will have another source of income, being that you're having a really low crop season and your farm is on its way out.
But isn't it? I think what I find interesting about this whole thing is that, like, the fact that they actually went through and did this study, and I think it was, I forgot what college did it, but they did a study to try to find out, like, how inaccurately people were thinking about things. Like, right? Like, it's crazy to think that there's that many people that believe something that's inaccurate. But the crazy thing about that is a lot of these movies that you are associating with the Mandela effect are not newer movies. All these movies are older movies from our childhood, which is interesting in its own sense too. It's like maybe when we were younger, we kind of turned it into our thoughts and then brought it up later. You know, because most of these movies, like even Jaws, there's a famous line in Jaws where people, like I even thought this, like, you know, we're gonna need a bigger boat. Like if you would have told me, you know, say that line, I'll give you $1 million. That's the line I would say, but that's not the line. It's you're gonna need a bigger boat. But I've always assumed it was we need. It's just crazy. And then you ask a lot of people, and they all assume it's the same thing. And it's kind of like that whole movie thing too. Like we were talking about with Bailey last month, and even today, that so many people believed that a movie existed that never did. It's crazy to think that that's still like people are it's a messing of the mind.
Yeah.
So, but there's a million.
Anthony,
of them.
the only reason that you think it was we're going to need a bigger boat rather than you're going to need a bigger boat is because you trust people too easily and you think that everybody needs to be in it together, when in reality, everyone needs to be selfish sometimes. They need to be.
I suppose so. Well, last one. I want you both. There's the last one. There's a show on Cartoon Network. And it has these people from the Stone Age in it. One of them says Yabba Dabba Doo.
Yeah.
I would like for you to tell me the name of that show and spell it for me, please.
It's the Flintstones, and it's Flintstoness.
We just said that we're reading the same damn list, and you're ruining it for everyone. Brad was...
I'm literally not on it anymore. I turned my iPad off.
Killing it.
I was a child once, believe it or not, and I watched child programming.
Oh man, did you know that? Did you call it the Flintstones or the Flintstones? Because I've always
that's what I was wondering, if there was a T in there, but I guess it is. It's just FLIN Stones.
No, it's Flintstones. There is a T in there.
So it is Flintstones.
I've been saying it wrong my whole life. I've been calling it the Flintstones. Kind of like
I guess with that one, it's easier to say Flintstones than Flintstones.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, what's the other thing too? It's like the Bernstein Bears. There's no such thing as the Bernstein Bears. It's actually
the Berenstain Bears.
There you go. Or it's what's that show with Sarah Jessica Parker in it? Robert, what do you call the show that Jessica Parker's in that has to do with in New York City?
It's not Sex and the City.
Sex in the City is incorrect.
Sex in the City.
No, it's not in the city. It's Sex.
It's just Sex and
the City.
Sex and the City.
Sorry.
Oh, did you get yelled at?
I sure did.
She knew that.
So
Didn't she?
here's another.
Here's
another Mandela effect. It's actually a study. Like 86.7% of the U.S. population believes that the TV show Friends was good, when in reality it was not.
It was terrible. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am not a fan of the show. I tried. There's two shows that a lot of people loved that I couldn't get behind, and Friends was 100% one of them. I just couldn't get behind. The other one was 2.5 Men. Those two shows.
The other one was Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, that's another show I didn't like either.
Wow, we're on the same wavelength. This is why.
You know what? Here's one, and I think Robert's gonna disagree with me because he is a New Yorker. If there's one show that if we can get rid of, just completely wipe it off the face of the earth and I'll be okay with it, I would get rid of Seinfeld.
He's gonna say Frasier.
No, you can't get rid of Seinfeld.
Oh, it's so easy to get rid of Seinfeld. You just press delete on Netflix.
No.
Frasier was another one that I wasn't real behind, but I didn't, that's a little older for me. Frasier, Cheers, like those, but like Seinfeld was still kind of late 90s. I just couldn't I'm not a Jerry Seinfeld fan. I don't like his style of comedy. I did like his Comedians and Coffee or Cars and Coffee, whatever it was. That was a pretty good show. But him on that show, that was god awful.
I have to disagree with that. I think also with that, the supporting cast, and then there's, I guess it's different being a New Yorker slightly. There's just so many iconic moments, iconic lines from that show that I still even just see when I'm out and about.
So let me ask you this, Robert.
The greatest TV show that's based in New York City is, without a doubt, unequivocally, completely incomparable to anything else, Gossip Girl.
Oh my God.
So it's getting kind of late, guys.
They rebooted it, and it is god awful.
Good. Well, the first one was god awful. So let me ask this, Robert. If
Don't
you
you-
had to get rid of a very famous sitcom, something that everyone, the majority of people love, what show would you get rid of?
Man, I'm gonna get some shit for this, no matter what I say.
That's the whole purpose. Listen, if this show
You
was
could
easy,
hit the sweet spot.
I do think, because I'm thinking of just like the really popular ones. When you have Office, like Parks and Rec, Friends. I guess Everybody Loves Raymond, Frasier, Seinfeld.
Sopranos, Cheers, Buffy the Vampire Slayer would be another one I would put in that category. Supernatural.
It's not a sitcom.
What?
Supernatural's not a sitcom. What?
Yeah.
What?
How is it not a sitcom? It was episodic television.
What? Oh, so any TV show that has an episode is going to be a sitcom?
To me, it is.
So Man in the High Tower is a sitcom to you?
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
That's an Amazon show about if World War II went differently. It's good.
Yeah, that's not a sitcom, Anthony.
You know what? Fuck it. I delete that show from my list too, just to piss you off.
No, all right, but if we're sticking to like those top five, arbitrarily those top five, I probably would go Friends, and that's just because of personal preferences.
Boom, love it. I'm okay with that. I love it. Bailey, if you can get rid
Because
of
I'm even thinking of like, just like how I would rank comedies. Like, there's so many I would personally rank ahead of that like were on like when I was younger. Like, to me, I think like Fresh Prince was the pinnacle in that era.
100%.
So,
that was a show that really, if you think back to it now, and I was talking to someone last night about this, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was really like something that was needed at that time, giving mostly a majority black cast, going through, and the issues that were at heart weren't just around, it was around every family in America, but it was given to a cast of actors that were really just killing it. Like, everyone had feelings for Uncle Phil. Like, when he died in real life, like, a lot of people were hurt by that.
Yeah.
That was like a family member to him. I watched it, like, there's episodes on that show, like, I still can't watch without crying. Like, it gets you emotionally, like, hit you in the soft spot. So yeah, Fresh Prince's. Yeah, I'd watch Fresh Prince over Friends any day.
What was interesting too, like, where like right now my current favorite comedy is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But I mean, that show relies on so much cringiness and just ridiculous behavior, where the Fresh Prince was really not like that at all, but it was still funny as shit.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you more. That was Will Smith's best work. And hell, he was in Independence Day. He saved us from aliens, but I still preferred him as...
And then again in I Am Legend.
Oh, God. Dude, I have a hard time watching that movie.
I like I Am Legend.
Oh, I love I Am Legend.
The dog.
It's the dog. I have a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
When that dog dies, dude, I was in the theater. I had no idea it was coming. I was, like, shaking. I had to go home and hug my fucking dog. Like, I was gone. Like, I was like, and I couldn't watch it.
A movie that I cried when I saw it in theaters was Interstellar, and I saw it 3 times.
Oh, me too.
And I cried all 3 times. All 3 times.
When,
I cried like a
when
little
he
baby.
When he gets the video from his daughter, I lost it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the one where like he's in like
finally reunited with his daughter.
Yeah, like he's like sees her through like the space parallel or something like that, or
yeah, it's like a black hole type thing.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to watch. 'Cause it's like one of those things like there's nothing you can do as a person to fix to get there. You know what else gets me too that I've only watched once and like it like hit me in spots and it kills me because it was a Kubrick movie, or how do you spell his name? Stanley Kubrick. How the fuck do you say his last name?
Kubrick.
Thank you. And then he dies.
Kubrick.
He has this movie written. Then Steven Spielberg directs AI, artificial intelligence, with the kid. That kid that was in all the movies back in the day. He's a robot, and then it's like him living his life as time goes on, and all these people are dying. And it's like at the end of the movie, like everyone's dead except aliens come to the Earth. Spoiler, by the way, if anyone's not seen this, but it came out 20 years ago.
Yeah, you've had your time. Yeah.
What'd you say?
What movie are you talking about?
It's AI, artificial intelligence.
I haven't seen this. This is one of the first times that I have not seen something that we're talking about
Okay,
on
well,
the show. So you
spoilers.
are actually spoiling something.
Good, spoil. Well, the end of the movie hits you hard because this robot is surviving all these different parts of time as it's moving on, and it's like and the only person who ever loved him was in the beginning of his lifespan, which was this woman that he associated as a mother. And at the end of the time, aliens are coming to Earth. Earth is deteriorating and all this stuff, and they're like, "Hey, do you just want to go with Earth, or do you want us to shut you off?" And they're like, "If we do that, we can give you 24 hours of anything you want." And he thinks about it. He's like, I just want 24 hours with my mother. And it's the woman, and it's like 24 hours of them just living life, and then they shut him off. And I was like, God, it was like, and it was funny because I was on a date with a girl that I liked, and here I am, like, in a fucking movie theater, bawling into the popcorn. I was spreading fucking tear butter all over the damn popcorn. And she's like, and I never talked to her again either. She wanted nothing to do with me because I was a big
Because
bitch.
she dropped to one knee because you were so sensitive, right? And you weren't ready for marriage.
I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So correct. So correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for furthering my point. Thank you for furthering my point. No, another movie that I cried that's a lot more recent. It actually came out mid-pandemic. Was Soul.
Oh, that's
The Disney Pixar animated movie.
Soul was super heavy.
And
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect with that because Disney has been putting the thing and maybe I'm wrong for saying this, like I feel like Disney is putting out too much too quickly. Like I feels like it's like they're doing like they'll hit you real quick with a bunch of stuff and then you'll go with this time of nothing. Like this, like in the last 3 weeks, I feel like they put out like this Luca movie, Cruella de
Luca's
Vil.
great.
I haven't watched it yet. We're watching it this weekend.
Well,
Luca,
then, I
Cruella
mean,
de Vil, and then what's the other
and
good
the-
one that?
Well, in the last month, you've also gotten Loki and the Bad Batch, which is Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah. So I mean, they're hitting you with a lot.
But that's what I think they're doing well, though. Yeah, they're coming out with a lot, but they're spreading it out. They're hitting to different age groups, different fandoms, different demographics.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think what they're doing is just classic Disney, just killing it.
And that's also what happens when you turn a big media company into a conglomerate and give them their own streaming service. You already have half of the entertainment and media companies under one moniker, and then when that one moniker gets their own streaming service, then all of a sudden half of the content that you would be seeing put out over the span of like 5-6 streaming services over the course of a month, they're all under Disney. And so the perception is that Disney is oversaturating the market, but all you're seeing is just a regular market saturation that's all just happening to be in one place.
Well, the reason I say this is because like Soul was an absolutely amazing movie. It probably is one of my favorite Disney movies in a very long time. Probably since Up. Up is one of my top. Up and WALL-E are my two favorite Disney movies of the last 25 years. I just those movies in different ways. The way they were made. They're different. Like they talk about different parts of like life that like really like meaningful to me. So both of those are really good. But Soul. Like man, that was just a not home run out of the park the way it was directed. And I felt like it was overshadowed by a lot of other things coming out, and that's why a lot of people didn't get the chance to see it or even like absorb it because there's other things coming out around the same time. So it kind of downplays the importance of that movie coming out.
That's fair. I guess they counter that now, because I definitely see your point. Whereas it's not like isolated and built up for a few months without any other interference. But I guess the counter to that is with how much social media interaction has increased, even in the last few years, and even more so during the pandemic when people were just on devices nonstop. I think like their ability to network and just advertise with word of mouth and just people talking about it has also amplified in turn. So that might balance that out.
Sure. No, it is interesting. But I think Soul was probably Disney's best product it's put out in a while, just for the fact it really isn't a kids movie. It's not meant for kids. It's definitely for that older, over the age of 18.
It was brilliant because I think a kid would enjoy it, but the parents and the adults are going to be the ones that are like, whoa.
Yeah, because it's going to go over their head.
Yeah.
So no, it was. Yeah, man, that was a great movie. I love that one. That was a good one. But yeah, there's a lot of great things that really came out over the last the last year in the pandemic. It's interesting that Disney and HBO are sticking to this idea of releasing movies at the same time as they're going to theaters. and they're still making a ton of money off it. I mean, if like HBO Max and I was reading an article today about it with Suicide Squad 2's latest trailer dropped, which I am fucking over the moon for. Like
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
this
yeah.
this looks amazing, and the fact that James Gunn is hinting at doing a trilogy of Suicide Squad movies is absolutely amazing. Because he announced that this upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy movie is his last one for Disney, like he's done after this, and that he is doing a series for HBO, which is with John Cena right now, the Peacemaker, which I think that is going to be fucking amazing.
And that's a direct spin-off of Suicide Squad, right?
Correct. Yes. So
Yeah.
So from my understanding, it's going to be Suicide Squad 2 comes out in August, Peacemaker comes out in November, and it's like the after effects from Suicide Squad. But for John Cena in the trailer, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend watching. Going, question: when you say starfish, do you mean butthole? I go, what? No. He goes, well, and some people say that starfish is a butthole. Are we talking about a large butthole? And he's like, all right, and he goes to face, nope, no butthole. It was just, I don't know. It looks really good. And I think this, they're giving the creative direction in the right for DC to kind of get, do its own thing, to be different than what Marvel is, So, I don't know, I'm looking forward to that, but it's interesting, like they were saying, so with the spinoff of Suicide Squad 2 coming over, they're not spending nearly as much money in theaters. Like, they're not putting up, you don't see as many marquees anymore, you don't see as many billboards anymore. A lot of things are coming through social media channels, like you were saying, Robert, which is an excellent point. And like Bailey even said in the last episode about how, people are utilizing, like, the needs of social media and just, like, the actors in general. Like, you were talking about Dave Bautista, how he was promoting Army of the Dead, where he was kind of, like, doing different things, like, through Twitter and stuff to kind of cross-promote it. It was a genius idea because Army of the Dead was supposed to be a theatrical release. They sold it to Netflix. Netflix, in turn, was able to utilize that funding from the viewership on that. I still don't understand, but it made more money than what if it was in theaters. So it's an interesting concept when you look back at how different things are and how, I don't know how much longer the traditional movie theaters are going to be around anymore. Because a person like me, and I think we talked about this on the last episode, when I was with you, Robert. It's like I invested in a home theater. So like I would rather, on a Friday night, pop popcorn in my basement. We eat downstairs. I can pause if I want to. I don't have to worry about the lady falling asleep behind me or the kids on their phone. It is what it is. And
with how much you have to go and use the bathroom, you don't have to worry about shuffling through the right?
Yeah, as soon as I hit 36, that bladder, that thing's wide open. I don't have much time to I don't miss anything anymore. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, there's another really big ticket movie coming out with Amazon, actually. It's an Amazon Studios original starring Chris Pratt.
It's called the Tomorrow War. Tomorrow War, yeah. Looks cool.
The Tomorrow War comes out in like a week.
Interesting. I did watch, what was that one? I watched have you guys watched the new Amazon movie that has Mark Wahlberg in it?
No, I saw the trailer for that, though. I'll probably catch it at some point.
Yes, it's so, I don't remember the name of it, but basically the premise is you never die. Like, when you die in one body, you just go to another body, and you keep eternally living. And what happens is you're trying to remember everything from your previous lives to keep going. It is crazy.
Well, I mean,
there's another. Sorry, Robert. Go ahead.
I know. I was just gonna say I forget the name of it. That movie, the dumb movie they made with Frank Grillo. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, Boss Level was great. I watched it twice. I really enjoyed that movie. And Frank Grillo, in my opinion, like crushed that role. And that was probably my favorite role that I've seen him in yet. Anthony's got to do his Googling.
I do. I never heard of this.
Level.
Boss Level, right?
It's a great movie. It's funny. The action's good. The cinematography's great.
Yeah, never heard of this. But we're missing out on
everything. It takes that whole live, die, repeat scenario and really, really, really well executes it in like an action comedy.
But tomorrow, I officially say the pandemic's over. You know why, right?
Why is that?
Tomorrow's Friday. We have been waiting over a year for this to happen. This is the most important day. I would put this on parallel with everyone's birthday. As a man, we all grew up going to movies to watch this. Even if we had a shitty car, we would go into them and pretend we were racing down the roads after seeing this. The new Fast and Furious 9 with John Cena comes out tomorrow. And for anyone who doesn't know, Robert Bruno and Bailey are doing exclusive movie prints for those 24 by 36s that will be on sale tomorrow, exclusively for the holiday otherwise known as Fast and Furious Day.
So many things to break down there. False.
It's actually the official day is the official name of the Fast and Furious Day, Anthony. Don't get it twisted. Is Too Fast Today, and it happens once a year on the same day every single year. So
I'm waiting for, because I heard they're doing another 3, which I think is just preposterous. But
so they're doing 3 more total. So they're doing 1 more. This is the one, and they're doing 2 more after this.
Well, I'm waiting for them to just use like the big F they have, the cool chrome metallic, and just call it family. Like that should really be the last one.
That's what those movies are about. They're not about cars.
It's family. It's all family.
We're all family. Yeah.
What movie I just finally watched the other day that really does a good job showing family?
Lilo and Stitch?
7 Psychopaths.
What?
Okay.
I finally got around to
I want to
watching
clear something up. Robert and Bailey are not doing Fast and Furious prints for everyone that's saying awesome and congratulations in the chat. That is a false rumor.
Sorry,
I
everyone.
actually have a drop tomorrow, but it's an entirely different thing. So
We're going to talk about drops here in a minute because we do have one that Robert's going to show, and we're going to talk about Bailey's in a second. Why is my kid outside? Anyway. Not
Never a dull
my
moment
son's
here, and I
outside.
just get
My son, who is outside right now at 9 o'clock at night, working out in the backyard, is sending off my ring.
Love it.
No, I don't know. Fast and Furious for me is just one of those. I remember going to the first one in the theaters with my buddy Richard, and he had this piece of shit pickup truck, and we got out of that theater up in Caribou, Maine, and we flew fast as we could. Maybe 45 miles an hour, because that's as fast that damn truck would go, down the road, thinking we were the coolest shit. And for 33 seconds, we were the coolest shits in the world. I don't know. I just like, there's something about those series.
Listen, it's not something I would ever shit on. I think there's too many, but that's like the worst thing I would say. I'm thoroughly entertained every time I watch one of those movies. The only one I really didn't like, I didn't like the Hobbs and Shaw thing they did. I thought that was really bad.
Oh, see, I enjoyed that.
So in
Love
Fast
that.
and Furious, with the 8 movies that exist, there are 7 movies and there's 1 film. There's 1 Fast and Furious film, and that one is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Every other movie in that whole series is just filler.
Well, I will say that Vin Diesel is in that movie at the end of it, and it ties in all the rest of the movies.
That's wonderful. That doesn't change the fact that it's the best in the series. So,
I love this. You do know where your child is at 10 o'clock at night with Ring. That is correct. My kid is in the backyard working out. So listen. Go ahead, Robert. Go ahead.
I hate to even compare these franchises because it's not fair, but
I can't wait.
It's the same feeling and excitement. Well, no, it's not the same. I'm going to compare Fast and the Furious films to the Mission Impossible movies, but I think the Mission Impossible movies are far better in terms of just the plot, the action, and to me, I don't think Tom Cruise is going to be happy until he actually dies filming one of them, which will be interesting. But I mean, as soon as I see like a teaser or a trailer for one of those movies, I get hyped.
yeah.
It is.
If we're making parallels to Fast and the Furious, I'm going to go ahead and make an incredibly controversial one.
Ooh.
I think that the intensity with the driving, the stunts, everything, Fast and Furious is incredibly, in terms of hype for me, on par with Disney Pixar's Cars 1 through 3. The speed, in Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel says speed. I am speed. Or that was like Sean Connery as Vin Diesel. But then in Lightning McQueen Land movie, he's all the whole like speed. I am speed, and does the whole thing. So it's the same thing.
Well, I just want to let you know, tomorrow I will be celebrating Fast and Furious Day as I wake up in a white tank top. I'm going to shave all of my body hair off, too, to be nice and silk and smooth. I'm gonna get a gaudy gold chain, and I'm gonna go out in the middle of the house, wake up my kids, and be like, "It's all about family. Live
Gotta do
fast,
some
live hard."
bicep curls in the morning.
Dude, there is no fucking
Yeah, at
biceps
least you
until
don't
I
have to shave your head, so you can go to bed early tonight.
Yeah.
So
Well, Bailey, you are an asshole. But anyway, I will take that.
hey, I
well,
bring it
listen,
up once an episode, just like you bring up my age once an episode.
Yeah, it's all
we
good.
both get one card per month.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you'll live longer than me in theory, right? Because you're younger than me. So just remember to make fun of me at my funeral.
Place your bets now, folks.
That's fair.
So listen, let's talk about this. So first I want to say this too. So I've known Robert probably. Holy shit! When did you make the poster for? What the hell was that movie? The Boston movie.
Oh, The Departed?
Departed. When did you make that?
Geez, I want to say either 2014 or 2015.
So I got to meet you then. So I've known you for a long time, and I've gotten to watch your career blossom, and I love it. And the same thing with Bailey. Like I've known him, and I've watched him his career blossom. So you're both two artists I think that are doing amazing things, and every time you post something, I'm always in awe of stuff, and especially like how you're consistently like pushing the limits of your ability with like watercolors and and everything. And today, Robert dropped a new print. You want to talk about it? I'll put it on the screen. Actually, I'm going to do this. Yeah, we'll do this one, and we'll do that, and we'll do this. There we go. Talk about it, Robert.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, very kind. Yeah, so, I mean, I think I touched on this the last time we got together. I learned how to do watercolors when I was in college, which is almost 10 years ago now. It's not something I ever excelled at back then. I gravitated towards the digital work very quickly just because it was super time efficient, especially when I started working for the commercial clients. But during quarantine, when I was stuck indoors, for months on end, it was just something I picked up and I kind of learned again. And I don't even know, technically speaking, like how to really explain it. I know the one rule I know is you go from light to dark, but I kind of just wing it as I go, and I have gotten more and more comfortable as I do each one, adding a little bit more realism and a little bit more of my normal like illustrative style. So what I've been enjoying doing for the last few weeks since I guess WandaVision came out, I've been doing little character tributes to all the MCU shows, and then I did a Captain America with the lifting the hammer. So this is just the newest installment to that, which is the God of Mischief, Loki.
And one of the cool things that you do with these watercolors, and you did it today, is that every time you make one, you raffle off the actual watercolor for someone to be able to purchase it, to own it, which is really cool.
Yep.
So this is going to be, it's on sale now, right? You can actually purchase this print. Is that correct?
The prints are on sale in my shop, correct?
Nice. And do we know what the next one in the series is going to be?
I don't know the next one in the series. So I have a few things written down because I think now we're going to have a little bit of a gap in between the Disney Plus shows. So my guess is I'll do something for Black Widow. I have done a Black Widow print in the past, but I think that would be a nice addition to the series.
Okay.
Robert, can you do the Russian version of Captain America? The name is escaping me right now. That's the red. Oh, it is.
Oh man, I'm failing right now.
Oh, you really put your.
David Harbour is playing him.
Yeah, that's it. He's going to be in the new movie, right? The Black Widow movie.
Yeah, he's in Black Widow.
Yeah, my general rule is I like to watch it first just to get a, Loki we knew, so that one was easy, but especially if it's a new character, because I can just, I mean, as an artist, you know this too, you get a better feel for the subject, even little things. I do a lot of realism, so it's just little things I can pick up with the expression, the emotion and tension in the face. So I'm sure, I mean, I'm a big fan of David Harbour, so I'm sure he'll be joining the roster.
Now, when does that come? When is that? Isn't that coming on Disney like really soon?
Yeah, I think the second week of July, if I'm not mistaken.
July 9th.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's really soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. So now this is what size? What size is this? It's what, a 5x7?
I think that's also why people kind of gravitate towards these now. I mean, as you know, you're a print collector. At a certain point, people cool off because of wall space and just
Sure.
sizing. So I do these. I work at pretty much to scale on a 7x10 sheet of cold pressed watercolor paper, and
Okay.
then I just scale them up a touch, so it's a frame size which is 8x10.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's cool. No, I've listen. I've always liked the watercolor piece. I think they're really cool. I have a couple of them in the house. We have the WandaVision in my daughter's room, who is officially out cold on the couch right now, called up in a ball, with the TV in front of her. So, no, I enjoy it. So I'm really excited about that. The Loki, like I said, I still have to get into the show before I invest in it. I already have the other Loki piece that you did, up on the wall down here. So, but no, it's great. Great, I love it. It's good stuff. So if you want to check
Thank you.
out Robert's work, first of all, I would highly recommend joining in on his Facebook group.
Yeah,
It's called Robert,
just the art of Robert Bruno.
the Art of Robert Bruno. It's a clever name. He thought it took long and hard for him
Long
to come up with a
time,
name. Very
a
long
long
time.
time. Yeah.
Um, but
I put all of the creativity into the paper.
hey, that's all that matters. 100%. But no, and then tomorrow, which for some reason, and this is going to kill me, Bailey has some prints dropping, uh, and one of
Tomorrow
them
and
is
Saturday.
tomorrow and Saturday. Why don't you talk about them real quick? I'm
Mm.
trying to get there for some reason, not importing for some reason. I'm trying to pull them up, so bear with me as
The
you talk about
images.
them. Yeah, have your
So
images.
I have two drops coming out Friday and Saturday. I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven new prints coming out all in one drop, and so I swapped all the like I put them into two different drops rather than one big drop, just because tomorrow we have my newest Pearl Jam poster. My APs are coming out along with my newest Tedeschi Trucks Band poster and AP copies of my foil. I think foils are tomorrow of my Willy Wonka poster that I released a couple of months ago. And then Saturday, I'm releasing my AP copies of my new Billy Strings diptych, my AP copies of my new Russo's Almost Dead poster, and my copies of my variant Willy Wonka edition. So, but the Tedeschi trucks, I actually have an exclusive foil that the band did not have at the show that's going to be exclusive to the store, and then I have foil versions of the J Rat as well.
Dude, that is amazing. First of all, I'm excited for you because not to get deep into this, but with the Pearl Jam print you did you actually worked, that was very heavily exclusive with Jeff and with the band, with like the direction of how it was supposed to
Yep.
go. So, and that's not
Yep, it
something
was his
common.
idea. He passed along his concept. I kind of took that and I said, okay, here's what I'm thinking in terms of like envisioning what you want for it. I sent it. He gave me his comments, and then I worked pretty closely with him throughout the process of it, all the way down to like the little tiny details and getting the final okay on the colors and everything. And he actually wrote me a really nice note, thanking me for the piece because it was one of his favorites,
Well,
in terms of just like Pearl Jam posters. So.
that's awesome.
Pretty cool stuff. Well, big things happening for both of these. Robert, do you have any other pieces coming out that we should know about that you're working on right now, or are you just gearing up for the conventions coming up around the corner?
Definitely gearing up for the conventions, and that's going to have to be a whole like mental shift back to prepping and planning for all that. But I'm currently working on a poster for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Ooh.
Um, that is pretty much all I can say.
Wow, Pittsburgh Pirates. Moving
Yeah.
along. Dude, it's very crazy. Like I don't know. It's like I think back. I think you both have very similar stories of like there was a point where you were like questioning if you were both gonna, like what we're doing. Like this is getting tough, and then you guys stuck to what you're both are doing, and you both are blowing up in different ways. And yeah, I'm super. It's super awesome to kind of sit back and watch you both do amazing things. So thank you for both coming on. Robert, it's always a pleasure for you coming on, and
Oh, likewise.
I'm glad you came on this show. As we still tried to wrap our heads around what the hell the show is about. Um, this was Bailey and me deciding to do a show one evening and agreeing to it, and I do enjoy it. Bailey is a good friend, and he's doing big things, so definitely check it out every weekend. I feel like you're dropping fucking 4 prints. I don't know when you sleep.
Well, I know I briefly touched on it last weekend, but I recently acquired the entirety of the Sega licensing. So I have full access to anything and all Sega things, all the way down to the consoles. So
now,
there's probably going to be a bunch of new Segas.
when you say you acquire the license, are you able to do anything with them in retrospect with other artists, or is it something that you can only do yourself?
It's my art. So it's my art with full licensing capabilities with Sega.
Wow.
So anything with Sonic, Streets of Rage, like the actual Dreamcast, anything that the light of Sega has touched.
What about what was the Crazy Taxi? Is that Sega?
If it was, no.
That game was the best.
I think that was Nintendo 64.
Was it? Oh man, I remember. I thought I had it on my Dreamcast.
But there's lots of cool pop culture stuff in the works. I have a couple of things in the works with Bottleneck Gallery that are officially licensed. And then just a couple of other things that are kind of a little bit further down in the pipeline that I haven't really confirmed yet. But we're in the preliminary talks of stuff for some really big releases for next year.
Dude, that is awesome.
Nice, that's really cool.
And with Robert dropping things like crazy, it's only a matter of time. We got Robert. Because the last print you just did, like the movie print, was the John Wick poster, which I got that last week, which was excellent. We need to get you on. Oh, this is the question I was going to ask everyone tonight. This is how we're going to end it. After I bring this up, because first we're talking about Quentin Tarantino in a second, but we need to get you on a Death Proof poster, because I love the concept how you're doing things with the Death Proof needs its own print.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. You're not the only one who suggested that. I'm definitely open to it. I mean, I'm running out of his main titles, so that makes sense anyway. Because I really want to do True Romance as well. So yeah, I'm all for it.
So here is the $1 million question. This is how we're going to end the show. You have to get rid of one of Quentin Tarantino's films. Completely remove it. And it's got to be one of the ones he directed. You can't say True Romance. You can't say Dusk Till Dawn. You got to say one of the movies he directed. What movie?
I have my answer.
Oh, what movie are you getting rid of, and why? And then we're going to call it evening.
Hateful Eight.
Bailey.
The Hateful Eight. I didn't enjoy it.
Oh, wow. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
you opened the can.
All right, well, that's fine.
You opened the can.
We all have our reasoning. And was it you just couldn't get into it, or what was the reasoning behind wanting to get rid of Hateful Eight?
I just couldn't really get into it. But then you're gonna hate me for what my second answer would be.
Oh, if you say Kill Bill, yeah, I'm hanging up on you.
Yeah, the entire Kill Bill thing.
You were ridiculous. That.
Maybe I need to rewatch Kill Bill, and I just didn't enjoy it the first time I watched through them. But
what were you, like 12 when you watched it?
12 and a half. But I need to actually rewatch it now that I can actually appreciate film for what it is.
Yeah, I think you might change your opinion watching it now. In retrospect, I think. But go ahead. So, Robert, if you had to remove one Quentin Tarantino movie, what would it be?
I don't want. I feel bad copying, but I would say The Hateful Eight. My reasoning is a little bit different. For me, what I love about Quentin Tarantino's films, aside from just the general directing style, is that he takes these different eras and just kind of applies his crazy vision and persona to them. And for me, it was Django Unchained and then Hateful Eight. And to me, it was such a similar feel. I know one was more of like an adventure, one was a murder mystery, but to me they were very close, just in terms of era, language used. So really for that reason, and I'm nitpicking. I mean, I like all of his films, but that would be it for me too.
And if I had to remove a movie, I was on the fence too. It was either going to be Django Unchained or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is removed for me.
That's a pretty polarizing one, because you either love that movie or you hated that movie, and I loved it.
I enjoyed it,
movie,
but
I've seen it multiple times.
No, I've seen all of his movies multiple times. Because, for me, like, a lot of people, they'll say their favorite movie is, like, either Kill Bill or Pulp Fiction. Like, my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie of all time is always going to be Reservoir Dogs because of the fact that he accomplished what no other director could with one scene in one area and captivating you with so much based off of just dialogue alone. And there was no feat in that movie. So,
It's true.
It is what it is. Well, listen. If you hope you enjoyed this, is the third episode of X Gets a Square, where Bailey and myself get to chat with another artist. Next month we're gonna be having another art. We actually probably know the next 3 months worth of artists coming out. We're really excited about it. If you missed some of the show, you'll be able to watch this as a video now on our YouTube channel, which all of the previous X Gets a Square is up on there. Or you can watch it on Venmo if you want to see 4K, because Bailey is glowing
It's not
internet
Venmo.
resolution.
It's not Venmo. It's Vimeo.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
Vimeo.
Sure.
Someday we'll get it. It's
Yeah,
okay.
But
Someday we'll get it.
but hit him up on Venmo too.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. No, if you want to see me in 4K resolution on Venmo, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
No. My Venmo is at Dave Bautista.
Yeah. Donations welcomed.
Jesus.
Dave Bautista Stan 1. Again, just to go ahead and say it to the people in the back.
Ridiculous. So listen. So check us out next month. On Monday, we're going to have the next episode of Let's Talk Vinyl, where me and Trey Bush are going to be talking about Pearl Jam's Present Tense and the song Arc. Then we're just announcing now, next in 2 weeks, we're going to have Brett Clausen coming on an evening with. Then we're going to be bringing back some other shows in the next few weeks coming up for this. So big news coming out of Touring Fan Live over the next few weeks with some events and some big things coming through. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And if you missed this show and you just want to tune in to listen to it, you can always check out the podcast that starts 24 hours after the show is live. And you just got to search Touring Fan Live wherever you find podcasts. Remember to subscribe and like so that I can make 10 cents. And until next time, I'm Anthony, that's Bailey, and Robert, thank you so much for coming on. You guys hang out real quick. I'm going to end the show I'm going to put a song on, and we're going to go like this.